You are watching KEVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Karina Garcia. Time to talk weather on this Sunday night with meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, I know you're keeping an eye on those tornadoes. How's it going?
Yes, thankfully, with the severe weather threat here, is just about over for now, that is. And remember, the severe thunderstorm, the tornado watch was already down to Kennedy County earlier this evening. It's now been reduced. All these counties have been dropped, including Cuero area and Howesville. Colorado County up to the north from there is where the tornado watch will last until 11 p.m. So it's looking better for us, at least for the time being. Take a look at the radar. Pretty quiet as well. A few rain showers are in Inez. Up there toward Gonzales as well. At Karnes City, you're in that as well. But things will be changing again for your day tomorrow. There's a slight risk of severe weather again for your day tomorrow. We'll talk about that. And your forecast for the week coming up a little bit later on to get you prepared. Back to you, Karina.
Trey, thank you. Now, that deadly tornado outbreak in Oklahoma caused widespread damage overnight as severe storms threatened more twisters with heavy rain and large hail from Missouri to Texas on Sunday. The death toll now at 4.
Officials in Oklahoma confirmed at least 4 people were killed, including an infant, after a tornado outbreak there Saturday night.
Definitely the most damage since I've been governor that I've seen. What I saw downtown Sulphur, it's unbelievable.
And the threat isn't over. Nearly 47 million people from Missouri to Texas are at risk for severe weather, including tornadoes, torrential rainfall, and flash flooding. The Storm Prediction Center upped the severe storm threat Sunday to a level 3 out of 5. In Nebraska, a large tornado cell tore through a suburb of Omaha on Friday.
This house was built in 1892 and it has stood for well over a century, and we refurbished it several times now, and I don't know where we go from here.
That's my son's bedroom, yep, and I had told him to go to his mom's house. Yep, and I'm glad he did.
We heard everything being thrown around above us, and it was so scary. It was so scary. I'm like so scared.
One of the tornadoes that hit there had a preliminary rating of EF3, with winds topping 135 miles per hour, according to the National Weather Service. The governor of Nebraska called it a miracle there were no deaths reported, and one man credits hot dogs for saving his life.
I was at the gas station getting hot dogs, and it saved my life. So hot dogs saved my life.
I'm Rick Damigella reporting.
2 people are dead and 4 others wounded in an officer-involved shooting in San Antonio. San Antonio police say 2 men opened fire on each other towards the end of a Market Square fiesta event taking place. Officers returned fire on one of the people involved, fatally shooting him. Police say an 18-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene and a 20-year-old was transported to the hospital where he later died. Authorities say 4 innocent bystanders were shot as well. At this time, there's no word on what prompted the shooting. Now, also, a major motor vehicle collision in San Antonio left 5 people hurt early Saturday morning. Authorities say the accident happened around 2:30 a.m. on the city's west side when a white Camaro and a minivan collided head-on. Police say the impact resulted in serious injuries for 3 people in the Camaro, and they were transported to the hospital in serious condition. The intersection was closed for several hours while crews worked to clear the scene. The EPA recently set new limits on the toxic chemicals used to make everything from non-stick pans to firefighting foam. To learn how to protect yourself and your family, read this Texas Tribune article found on our website at crossroadstoday.com. A heartwarming story unfolded today on Navarro where a lemonade stand caught the attention of many locals. 6 years ago, Colin Kickendahl battled leukemia, but today the 10-year-old stands as a survivor, having overcome the disease. To commemorate this victory and give back to those battling cancer, the boy and his family organize a lemonade stand every year on this anniversary.
So all of our money raised this year will go to 2 individuals. One is a 1-year-old little girl named Whitney who's battling leukemia right now, and another lady by the name of Laura who's battling metastatic breast cancer.
Well, it was really hard for me when I had cancer, so I just wanted to make it easier for some people.
In a show of resilience, the lemonade stand on Navarro drew crowds today, capturing the spirit of the community. Now, Victoria residents will vote in the Board of Trustee race for District 2 for VISD. On the ballot is incumbent candidate Bridget Marshall. In July of last year, she was appointed District 2 trustee. Marshall is the Victoria College Department Chair of Humanities and serves as an English instructor. She says she'll use her 2 decades of education experience for this role. Now, Marshall faces Andrew Rokovich. He's also a local project manager. Rokovich once served as president of the Victoria Young Republicans. In March, he was under fire for a social media post that many deemed as anti-Semitic. Rokovich apologized and says the post was poorly thought out. Rokovich wants to ensure inclusivity and representation for all in the community. In Victoria County, residents will vote for 1, 2, or 3 of the candidates for Board of Directors in the county's Drainage District number 3. On the ballot, Justin Leta, Ryan Pelcher, Candy Markle Peck, and Wayne Leta. And now also in the race for Victoria's District 3 City Council seat, we have April Butler running against Woodrow Wilson Wagner. Butler is a local business owner, and one of the issues she wants to address is retaining first responders. Butler was born in Amarillo and has been part of the Victoria community since 2003. She attended Texas Tech University, and Butler says she has a plan to increase pay for first responders without raising taxes. And Butler faces Woodrow Wilson Wagner II in that District 3 race. He says he has a track record of advocacy and desire to give back to his hometown. Wilson Wagner's primary focus, if elected, is to give first responders better pay to prevent them from leaving Victoria. Wagner says his experience in government will help him find solutions for the city. And Victorians will vote for 1 or 2 candidates for Board of Directors in the County Water and Control Improvement District number 1. On the ballot is Robert Cardenas, Devin Wallace, and Robert Moltalvo. Now, early voting for the May 4th election continues Monday at the Victoria County's Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center in Classroom A. The polls open this coming Monday and Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So far, 1,242 people have voted and have showed up to vote for the May 4th election. Now remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. For now, stay with us. Protests erupt in Israel following Hamas released footage of hostages. Coming up, those images.
Temperature on the outside 77 degrees in Victoria. Very humid outside as well, 75 degrees dew point, 29.78 is the pressure, 24% humidity. Ooh, I tell you what, turn to the air conditioning, that's for sure. We'll talk about that and the forecast of rainfall coming back a little bit later on.
Turning overseas now to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who faces increased pressure at home and abroad over the war in Israel. Thousands are protesting in Israel, demanding a ceasefire deal to free the hostages. This as Hamas released video of 2 Israeli Americans held hostage.
Tonight, amid growing anger from families of hostages and a renewed US-led push to reach a ceasefire, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu under intense political pressure. The White House saying it supports a 6-week pause in the fighting.
Hamas has not fully rejected it. They are considering this proposal on the table.
President Biden speaking by phone today with Netanyahu to discuss the potential agreement ahead of planned negotiations in Cairo this week between Israel and Hamas. Netanyahu's government divided. Right-wing hardliners today threatening to leave the governing coalition if Israel agrees to what they call a reckless deal. On the other side, Israeli War Cabinet member Benny Gantz, warning if the government doesn't prioritise the hostages, it will, he says, not have the right to continue. Anger boiling over at protests against Netanyahu's government in recent days after Hamas released new videos of 2 American-Israeli hostages. 64-year-old Keith Siegel, seen for the first time in captivity, speaking under duress as he breaks down in tears. Today, Keith's brother, David, speaking to me from Rochester, New York, calling on Netanyahu to put the lives of the hostages first.
This is a central and critical moment. This opportunity has to be taken advantage of by the Israeli government.
That video of Keith released just 3 days after Hamas distributed a separate video of 23-year-old American-Israeli hostage Hersh Goldberg Polin. President Biden reiterating to Netanyahu the US does not support a ground operation into Rafah on Gaza's southern border, where more than 1 million Palestinians are taking refuge. The Biden administration repeatedly calling such an operation a mistake. Tom Sufi Burridge, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Presidential candidate Jill Stein was arrested at a pro-Palestinian rally late Saturday. She was at Washington University in St. Louis. Her campaign's communications director says they were not aware of any charges at this time. Stein's campaign manager and deputy campaign manager were also arrested. Students at Washington University are demanding the school cut ties with Boeing, which has a long-standing relationship with Israel. Stein says she supports the students in their recent encampment. Now, it appears that Donald Trump and former rival Florida Governor Ron DeSantis may be burying the hatchet. The Washington Post is reporting Trump met privately with DeSantis this morning in Miami to talk about fundraising and a possible reconciliation after a primary battle. A Trump official says DeSantis reached out to the Trump team via a mutual connection 2 weeks ago. The former rivals had reportedly not spoken since January when DeSantis dropped out of the Republican race for the presidency and then endorsed Trump. The number of measles cases in the world doubled from 2020 to 2023. The World Health Organization says there were more than 171,000 cases globally in 2022, but that number went up to 320,000 cases in 2023. Almost half the cases have been in Europe, and technically, measles have been eliminated from the U.S. in 2000, meaning there was no spread within the country. But as of Friday, the U.S. has had 128 cases this year. So here's your viewer poll tonight. You can scan that QR code on your screen to vote. The question is, are you up to date on your vaccines? Yes or no? According to our results, it looks like 68% voted yes and the remaining 32% stand at no. Thank you for voting tonight.
And we have a marginal risk of severe weather again for your day tomorrow on Monday. What about the forecast for tomorrow and the rest of the week? Any more rainfall chances? We'll take a look coming up. And good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great Sunday. I did. I hope you did too. And the future tracker. Well, today we have the tornado watch north of Victoria that has expired now. It's been dropped only for Colorado County to the points north from there toward the East Texas Lakes area have the current tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock. But the threat of severe weather is over for us. But it may not be over totally, as there's a slight risk of severe weather tomorrow. And looking at the future tracker, we'll run this all the way through. For your day on Monday, the best rain chances, of course, will be to the east, according to this model right here. Can't rule out a storm or two in and around Victoria area. Mostly dry to the west, but can't rule out a shower or thunderstorm here as well. So we'll keep watching that on your day tomorrow. And the rainfall will continue to work its way to the east as the upper level low pressure area begins to move all the way through as well. Weak boundary makes it down to the north and gives us a better rain chance coming up by your morning hours on your Monday. Then that moves on to the east, and we see improving conditions somewhat by the latter half of the day on your Monday. But the rain chances not really going away after this point as well, because the front will be pretty much in the Gulf of Mexico or near the coastline, serving as a lifting mechanism for that moisture and getting that moisture to produce some rainfall around here. The chances will be a little bit smaller, but they'll still be around. See, maybe isolated storm or two, maybe around 6 or 7 p.m. for your day on your Monday. So visibilities, let's start with that. You'll find my visibilities around Victoria currently along the coast. With the, I think with the winds up, I don't think we'll have any really very dense fog areas, but there could be some patchy fog around in the early morning hours because the humidity is simply so high. Look at the future tracker here. We see the upper level storm system here and the frontal zone associated with that inching its way further and further to the east as we go through time. Still nearing our area here, and the instability is still in place, so we can't rule out a shower storm coming up for the majority of next week here and there. Nothing too dramatic in the event on the rainfall that is, or the high percentages of widespread rainfall, but there will be some around. High pressure to the east, keeping that moisture flowing in off the Gulf of Mexico and keeping our humidity quite high around here. And you see they kind of revs up again for the latter half of the week. What's it look like forecast-wise for Cuero? Well, 70s overnight. By 9 a.m., 75 degrees. Northerly winds, they're 10 miles per hour behind that little boundary that's coming on through for your early morning hours tomorrow. Still making it to near 90 degrees, topping that, maybe getting very close by 3 o'clock in the afternoon with cloudy skies with some rain showers likely, and maybe some peaks of the sun as well with those gusty winds as well as we see that in and around the region. And for 9 a.m. for your Victoria tomorrow, could be a rain shower storm in and around the region at that time. And then mostly dry, potentially around the afternoon time as well. Around here as well, some peaks of the sun. Otherwise, cloudy skies getting near 90-degree mark, inching ever so closely to that mark as we head toward the next several days. Port Lavaca, you have the benefit of the sea breeze to keep you folks a little bit cooler. 81 degrees at the 12 noon hours coming up for your day tomorrow with cloudy skies. Dodging a rain shower storm in and around the region at that time. So keep that in mind. Definitely turn that air conditioning on because it's definitely going to be on the hot side. Alert day for your day tomorrow because of that slight risk of severe weather we have in the region. Outside of that, pretty smooth sailing after that. Daily rain chances, at least 20% chances. Best chances will be on your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as that large area of low pressure moves on through the area, and then lingering into the weekend as well with some slight rain chances. Highs in the 80s, near 90 degrees, lows in the 70s. Hang on to your hat, keep your umbrella with you, and keep weather aware just to be on the safe side for your day on Monday. Take a look at this. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code you see right there. They'll take you to a webpage. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, free of charge. Stay connected with us. Here is Zach with sports.
Thank you, Trey. A pair of Victoria teams have clinched the postseason berth, and East softball continues to have one of its best seasons in over a decade. That's in sports. The Houston Astros in Mexico City finishing off their 2-game series against the Colorado Rockies. And, well, that's when Kyle Tucker unloads to right to make it 2-0 Astros. That ball 455 feet. Houston goes on to get the win 8-2. They sweep Colorado, their first sweep of the year, albeit just a 2-game series. As of yesterday, the NFL draft has come to a completion, and we had 2 Crossroads superstars who have found brand new homes. Yesterday afternoon, Cuero's Jordan Whittington got the call that he will be an LA Ram. He was drafted 213th overall. A star player like Whittington could be an absolute steal for the Rams, falling in the 6th round. In Texas Longhorn history, Jay Witt ranks 12th all-time in history for the Longhorns in receptions and 14th in Longhorn history in receiving yards. And that other Crossroads star to be drafted, we were there Friday night.
And with the 46th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Jonathan.
That is Jonathan Brooks out of Hallettsville. That's where he had his viewing party, packed the house, pure excitement when the star was selected 46th overall by the Carolina Panthers. He nearly led Hallettsville to a state title back in 2020 when he was Mr. Texas football. Now the Panthers have a great young running back as they try and build around Bryce Young. And while it was a big week for some Crossroads football stars, out on the baseball diamond, Victoria East had a chance to win their best-of-3 series. It was tied at 0 after 1, but Victoria East put up a 4 spot in the 2nd inning. They go on to get the win. Final score 7-0 over the King Mustangs, and we see the celebration right there. But how about the final out celebration? So last year the Titans had a crushing defeat that head coach Wes Coley said really hurt early on in their pursuit for the postseason. So this year it had to feel good getting over that hump. They piled on each other on the diamond in Corpus, and we had another team that made the postseason from Victoria East, and that being the East softball team. They made the postseason for the first time in over a decade, and they just made some more school history, winning in the by-district round over Laredo Nixon. Coach Buck said they were down 5-1 in the 2nd inning in Game 1, rallied all the way back to get the win, and they carried that momentum into Game 2 because they won 17-7. They will get Harlingen South next up in the area round. And how about Victoria West baseball? This is a team that won 2 district games last year. They won their first 2 games in that 3-game series as they get the series win. Head coach Jay Perez has these guys playing very confident ball. They followed up their Game 1 beatdown of Carroll with another big win. Final score 8-4. Like I said, they win the best-of-3 series. We wait to see who they play next. Scary situation for the Houston Texans and receiver Tank Dell. He was said to be an innocent bystander at a nightclub when he was shot. Now the wound is minor. 10 people in total are said to be recovering. All 10 injuries not life-threatening. In fact, Tank Dell, reports have it, has since been released from the hospital. That's it for your sports. Karina, back to you.
Thank you, Zach, and stay with us. Coming up, zebras on the loose like a goose. this is definitely not something you see out on a Sunday afternoon drive. 4 zebras were spotted walking along a highway in North Bend, Washington today. Authorities say they escaped from a transport trailer when the driver stopped to secure them along eastbound I-90. No doubt motorists were shocked to see the zebras loose on the highway, even taking cell phone video to capture this moment. Authorities say 3 of the zebras have since been captured, but one is still on the loose.
Like a what?
Like a goose.
Interesting. It's all there in black and white for you.
There you go.
There you go, Trey.
And so the severe weather threat is over for us. Mark numbers tomorrow. High temperatures in the 80s all week, near 90 degrees, so it's a hot one. Lows in 70s. Rain chances pretty much each and every day. So be careful out there.
All right, and we will be. Thank you, Trey. And thank you for being with us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Have a good night.